I wish I never encouraged my mom to date again. My dad died when I was 11, and I watched my mom turn into a ghost. She stopped cooking, stopped laughing, stopped leaving her bedroom except to go to work. For 3 years, I was the one who made sure my little sister Bria ate dinner. I was the one who braided her hair before school and helped her with math homework and held her when she cried about missing daddy. Mom would shuffle past us in her robe, eyes hollow, and disappear back into her room. But I never blamed her. I defended her when Aunt Pauline said she was being selfish. I screamed at my cousin who called her pathetic. I was 14 years old and the only person in our family who believed she would come back to us. Every night, I'd sit outside her door and talk to her through the wood. I'd tell her about Bria's spelling tests and my basketball tryouts and how much we needed her. Some nights I heard her crying. Some nights I heard nothing at all. But I never gave up on her because I knew the real mom was still in there somewhere, buried under all that grief. When I turned 15, I decided to save her. My friend Devin's uncle was a widower, a kind man named Lawrence who volunteered at our church. I convinced Mom to come to the community dinner, her first social event in 3 years. She wore the blue dress Dad loved, and I almost cried seeing her look alive again. Lawrence pulled out her chair and made her laugh within 10 minutes. I watched from across the room and felt like I'd performed a miracle. They exchanged numbers that night. By month 2, Mom was humming while making breakfast. By month 4, she was dancing in the kitchen with Bria. By month 6, Lawrence proposed with our grandmother's ring that Mom had given him. I thought I'd fixed everything. I thought our family was finally healing. The wedding was small and beautiful, and when Mom looked at me during her vows and mouthed thank you, I felt like the proudest son in the world. I had brought my mother back from the dead, but something shifted the moment they returned from the honeymoon. Lawrence moved into our house, and suddenly every room felt smaller. Mom started deferring to him on everything, asking permission to buy groceries, checking if dinner was acceptable, apologizing when Bria laughed too loud. The first time I saw her flinch when he raised his voice, my stomach dropped. He never hit her, nothing that obvious, but he controlled everything. He monitored her phone and timed her errands and made comments about her weight that sent her crying to the bathroom. When I confronted Mom privately, she said I was imagining things, that Lawrence just liked structure, that this was what a real partnership looked like. She said Dad had been too lenient, and that's why she'd fallen apart when he died. I didn't recognize the words coming out of her mouth. They sounded rehearsed, programmed, like someone else had written her script. The real nightmare started 6 months in. Lawrence decided Bria needed discipline because she was too coddled. He implemented a point system where she had to earn privileges like dessert and TV time and even talking at dinner. My 12-year-old sister had to earn the right to speak in her own home. When she failed a quiz, he made her stand in the corner for 2 hours while Mom watched and said nothing. I exploded and told him he wasn't our father and never would be. Lawrence smiled and said I was right. He wasn't our father because our father had been weak and raised weak children. Mom just stared at the floor. That night, I found Bria hiding under her bed, shaking. She whispered that she missed when Mommy was sad because at least sad Mommy loved us. I promised her I would fix this. I packed our bags and told Mom we were leaving for Grandma's house until Lawrence was gone. Mom looked at me with eyes I didn't recognize and said if we left, we shouldn't bother coming back. She chose him. She looked at her 2 children and chose the man who made her daughter earn the right to speak. We've been at Grandma's for 4 months now. Mom calls sometimes, always when Lawrence isn't home, always crying and saying she misses us. But she never asks us to come back. She never leaves him. Last week, Bria asked me if Mom ever really loved us or if she was just too sad to leave. I didn't have an answer. I found a birthday card Mom wrote me the year after Dad died, promising she would always protect us, promising we were her reason to keep breathing. I keep it in my drawer next to the photo of her dancing with Bria in the kitchen, back when I thought happiness meant she was healing. I spent 4 years believing my mother was worth saving. I brought her back to life, and she used that life to choose someone else. I wish I'd let her stay in that dark bedroom forever.